Time now for this week's weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, we had that one day back on Sunday that was just gorgeous. Since then, though, back to reality with the chilly weather. What can we expect in our forecast?
Well, Troy, you're exactly correct. We did see some warmer temperatures last week, and only to see the cold air return in earnest during this week. A little bit of snow activity across the state, but nothing of major consequence. Mostly we're in the trace to 1 inch range, except for a little bit of heavier snow, moderate snow during the midweek period in the Panhandle, where we had 1 to 3 inches. Now, as we go forward this next week, we are expecting a cooler temperatures, at least for the first half of the forecast, and then we will start to see a warming trend as we get to next weekend. And if we can wait just a bit longer, at least from the GFS model standpoint, as we get into the third full week of this month, it does look like a more significant warming trend might be in store for a substantial portion of the western half of the United States. So we look at the upper air models from today. We're basically looking at low pressure to our west. The trough that just passed through yesterday is now to our east. We're going to get a little ridging, so we're going to be temperatures in the mid-40s, probably the nicest day of this weekend. Low pressure develops in the Nebraska Panhandle, just not a lot of moisture to work with, and it's moving too fast. So all the extensive precipitation will occur over the northern Rockies. Now, as we go into Sunday, we're going to see that energy slide to our east. Another low pressure develops to the southwest, but high pressure is firmly in control, so we're not going to see return moisture into our region. We're going to be a little bit cooler, but mostly just scattered flurry activity across the northern part of the state with a more concentrated snowfall to our north and east. On Monday, the trough tries to deepen a little bit more, brings a little bit cooler air into our region, reinforcing what comes in on Sunday. High pressure firmly in control. Major concentrated low pressure areas over the western Great Lakes, so most of flurry activity will remain to our north and our northwest. And then on Tuesday, we start to see this trough deepen, bringing much colder air into the eastern United States as low pressure stacks up over eastern portions of Montana and western South Dakota, and that will pull toward the southeast and bring some light flurry activity to the northern part of the state. More importantly, as we go into Wednesday, we start to see this trough weakening somewhat as it lifts toward the northeast, so the coldest air will start to shunt off to our northeast. Northeastern Nebraska probably going to be the coldest during this period on Wednesday, with that high pressure directly overhead, and maybe some light flurry activity, but no significant accumulations of snowfall. And then as we get into Thursday, the high pressure ridge starts to build into our region, that trough lifts off into the northeast, and we start to see a warming trend as we start to get on the backside of this high pressure system, bringing in a southeasterly to southerly flow. We may see a little bit of light precipitation in the southwest and south central Nebraska, nothing overwhelming. And then we start to see a moderation on Friday with a little trough trying to come into our region. Low pressure stacks up in eastern Dakotas and in eastern Montana. That will bring a little bit of moisture to the north, but the most concentrated area of precipitation will be across the North Dakota. If we look a little farther from next Thursday to the following Tuesday, it includes this cool stretch. Below normal temperatures is going to be the norm in the western United States. Precipitation above normal, although this may be overplayed, and I think most of it is going to be concentrated on the 15th and the 16th when there is a storm system expected to roll out of the western United States. So overall, really not a bad forecast for this time of the year. A little cooler than normal the first half, warmer than normal the second half. So Troy, looks like things are on the upswing as we get toward the end of the month.